let's talk about SAP SuccessFactors. But we're not going to do a dry technical breakdown. Instead, I want you to think of it as a human story. It's really about the journey every single employee takes, from the moment they apply for a job all the way to becoming a leader.
And really, it all boils down to this one big question. I mean, think about it. Companies today are dealing with global teams, all sorts of different roles, so how on earth do they manage their most valuable asset? Their people. How do you attract the best, keep them happy, and help them grow? And maybe the bigger question is, how do you even begin to build a system to handle all of that?
All right, so here's how we're going to break it down. We're going to follow that employee journey, starting with the digital foundation, the playbook, if you will. Then we'll cover getting hired, growing in the role, getting rewarded for great work, and finally, shaping the next generation of leaders. It's the whole life cycle, from start to finish.
Okay, let's dive into our first section. Look, before you can do anything else, before you can manage even one person's career path, you've got to have a solid foundation. You need a single, super reliable system that acts as the digital backbone for the entire company.
And that backbone, that's what SAP calls Employee Central. I like to think of it as the central nervous system for the whole company. Basically, it's a next-gen HRIS, that's Human Resource Information System, and its job is to automate all those core HR tasks. Plus, it makes sure everything is compliant, no matter where your employees are in the world. This is the one place, the single source of truth for every bit of employee data.
So, we've got our foundation set. Now, let's put it to work. The very first step in any employee's journey, of course, is getting hired. It all starts with that crucial process of finding and bringing the right people into the company.
And that hiring journey really breaks down into 3 key steps. Step 1 is all about attracting talent. You're building your employer brand, getting people excited about working for you, and creating a pipeline of awesome candidates. Then, step 2 is managing the actual hiring, streamlining everything from the moment a job is posted to when that offer letter goes out. And finally, step 3, which is so important, is welcoming them. The onboarding process makes sure new folks feel supported from day one so they can get up to speed and really start making an impact fast. All right, so your new hire is officially in the door. Awesome. But the journey is just getting started, right? This is where the real work begins. The next phase is all about unlocking their potential, helping them grow, and turning that promising new hire into a total rock star. And SuccessFactors has a whole suite of tools to make that happen. You've got performance and goals, which is crucial for making sure what you're working on day-to-day actually lines up with the big company strategy. Then there's continuous feedback, so no more waiting for that one yearly review. It's about constant improvement. Of course, there's a learning module for training, development, getting new certifications, and finally, career development planning, which gives employees the tools to literally plan out their own career path right there inside the company. Okay, so people are working hard, they're growing, they're hitting their goals. What's next? Well, you've got to recognize that effort. This brings us to a really critical piece of the puzzle, rewarding people for their contributions and making sure they feel valued. And when we talk about total rewards, it's really 2 sides of the same coin. First, you have compensation management. Think of this as the foundation, your base salary, any adjustments, stock options. It's all about making sure pay is fair and equitable. Then on the other side, you have variable pay. This is the incentive piece, the bonuses, the commissions, all the performance-based stuff designed to really motivate people and drive specific results.
And that brings us to our final stage, which is all about looking ahead. This isn't just about today, it's about building a company that's going to last. And you do that by actively shaping your future leaders.
Yeah, this quote really hits the nail on the head when it comes to succession management. It's so much more than just promoting the next person in line. It's about being proactive, right? It's about building a deep bench of talent. You identify and develop those key people before a role even opens up. That way, you have this strong internal pipeline, and the business can handle anything, any change, and just keep on thriving.
Okay, that sounds great. But let's be real. The system is collecting tons of data on hiring, performance, pay, you name it. So how do leaders actually use all that information to make these huge strategic decisions about the future?
Well, that's where people analytics comes in. This is basically the brain, the engine of the whole system. It takes all that raw data from every single module and turns it into actual, usable insights. So for example, instead of just getting a report that says, hey, your turnover rate is X%, analytics can tell you, warning, your top performers in this critical division are showing signs they might leave. And that is something a leader can actually act on. It's about making decisions with real data, not just gut feelings.
So when you step back and look at the whole picture, you can see it's not just a random collection of software tools, right? It's a fully connected system that supports this continuous cycle. As your people grow, as they move through their journey and develop their skills, the business itself grows and gets stronger right along with them.
And all of this really leaves us with one final big question to chew on. Is your organization just filling seats? Are you just reacting to immediate needs? Or are you truly building your future? Are you strategically developing the talent and the leaders who are going to carry your company forward? Definitely something to think about.